Hey, what's up guys, it's Jake the Metalhead, and today I'm going to be doing a huge catch-up review on 3 albums I wanted to review but couldn't because, well, Volbeat vs. SpongeBob was a thing. Anyways, today I'll be looking at Underneath by Code Orange, Declaration by Red, and What the Dead Men Say by Trivium. So without further ado, let's take a look at these albums in the order that they were released, starting with Code freaking Orange. 10 out of 10. Nothing needs to be said. Okay, I'll say more.
Code Orange is an American metal band from Pittsburgh, PA, and this album is by far their most experimental, creative, and unique album they've put out yet. This album combines their already ferocious and relentless heavy side with more industrial elements. Various sampling and electronic elements are on this album, and to be honest, I was kind of scared when they released the first single, which is also the title track, Underneath, and heard it was primarily electronics. Like me personally, I was scared that this was gonna absolutely plague the record. But then they released Swallowing the Rabbit Whole, and that completely turned me around and gave me hope. And I was pleasantly surprised with what I heard. Well, as pleasant as you can get while listening to a Code Orange record, but you get my point.
Anyways, a couple of things that really stood out to me on this album were obviously the electronic elements, the guitar work from Reba Myers and Dominic Landolina, and also a slight change in the lineup. Let me explain.
You see, when their last album dropped, Jamie Morgan was the drummer and the lead scream vocalist. Now he's taken a backseat to the drums and focuses more on vocals for this record, while they brought in Ethan Young on drums this time around, which gives a nice flavor to the drums as Ethan Young is a more technically proficient drummer.
I just want to stress, Jamie Morgan is not a bad drummer by any means. He made Forever work and made it as memorable and heavy as it was. However, I still think it was a good move bringing in Ethan Young on drums for this album. He brings a more technically proficient and, even in some cases, creative life to the band. And also, this gives Jamie Morgan the opportunity to try out some new things on vocals, such as clean singing. I don't wanna know. Jamie doesn't show up on clean vocals that often. Hell, I'd say 9 times out of 10, whenever you hear his vocals on this record, he's hitting you with his freaking visceral growl. However, when he is showing off his clean vocals a little bit, I really dig them and I feel it's a nice touch to the album. Overall, I really dig this album. It's really creative, it's easily one of the most unique metal albums I've ever heard, and I would say it's a pretty appropriate evolution in Code Orange's sound, and I cannot wait to hear what these guys do next. So with that being said, I'm giving Underneath a 10 out of 10. Next is Declaration by Red. This band I can only describe as a Christian Seven Dust, a more technically proficient and heavier version of Skillet, or I would even argue a heavier Evanescence. But, you know, with a male singer.
Red is a band from Nashville, Tennessee that I would classify as nu metal or alternative metal, and I would say these guys are a good recommendation for somebody who wants to get into heavier music. These guys are on the heavier side, but it isn't too overwhelming for somebody just getting into metal, and I personally find these guys to be extremely talented. The band themselves are very proficient with their instruments, and their lead vocalist, Michael Barnes, is a great singer with a vicious scream on him as well that he makes great use of on this record.
Now, I compare these guys to Skillet and Evanescence because they have a pretty significant symphonic element to their sound, incorporating violins, cellos, and other orchestral instruments into their music and creating a huge sound, like when Metallica did a concert with the San Francisco Symphony, or when Alter Bridge did a concert at the Royal Albert Hall with a huge orchestra backing them. I'd say the song this element is used best is in the song The War We Made, which is also backed by a pretty unique drum groove. Now, I would say this album is more of a return to form album with these guys because their last album experimented with more electronic influences, but not nearly as much as other bands did around the time, and certainly not as bad as other bands did that time. Oh my God, there were some bad albums from that time. Anyways, I would still say this is more of a return to form album for these guys nonetheless, and I feel like this album worked out for the better, honestly. Overall, this album is heavy, it stands out, and it runs miles around whatever Trap's new album is gonna be. Yeah! That's right, I, Jake the Metalhead, declare war on Trapped. Anyways, I give Declaration a 9 out of 10. Finally, we talk about a band that is soon to be legendary. Hollywood Undead. No, I'm just screwing with y'all. We're talking about Trivium.
Let me start off this segment by saying this is going to be biased as hell because I absolutely love Trivium. These guys haven't put out a song that I don't enjoy in some aspect, and Trivium never fails to disappoint me. Until now.
No, I'm just screwing with y'all again. I love this album. But man, what can I start with? Let's talk about them for a minute. The drumming is all over the place with this album. I really enjoy all the different speed changes and all the really unique drum beats too. Alex fucking Bent. Dear Lord, this man can play. This guy is kinda... Actually, no, not even kinda. This man is Trivium's best drummer that they've ever had.
Anyways, let's move on to the vocals because... my God, Matt Heafy's vocal performance overall can go from nice and soothing in a way to just unrelenting. Like on the song Amongst the Shadows and the Stones, the hook is Matt screaming instead of singing it out. I love Matt Heafy's voice on this album, and the guitar work on this album has shades of Dream Theater throughout. I've heard that, and I don't even listen to Dream Theater like that. Hell, I don't even listen to progressive metal like that, but yeah, I can't deny I love the guitar work on this thing.
One song I found particularly interesting is The Defiant, not because it's really technically proficient, but because it's old school as hell. Like, not even kidding, this song low-key could fit in with the track listing for Ascendancy. Like, this could fit right in with songs like Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation, Like Lights to Flies, Pull Harder on the Strings of Your Martyr. This song is awesome for that, and it shows that Trivium haven't forgotten where they came from, despite moving in a bit more of a progressive metal direction. Overall, I love this album front to back. The guitar work, the vocals, the drums, and surprisingly enough, the bass are all extraordinary. There is not a song on this album I would skip, and it surpasses The Sin of the Sentence in terms of its technicality. And I cannot wait to see where Trivium takes their sound from here. So, with that being said, guys, I give What the Dead Men Say a 10 out of 10.
That's it for me, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos coming soon. A link to my Instagram, a Discord server for this channel, as well as a link to all 3 albums that I talked about in this video are going to be in the description. I'd love to hear what you guys thought of these albums in the comments. As always, a huge shout out to Ace Asteroid for editing this thing together for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.